Welcome to a Cincy fan talking with LP, and it's yours truly, LP. Happy New Year. Ho ho ho. The ho 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 go to Happy New Year? I don't know, y'all. I'm out here. This what happens when you don't go to work for like close to 2 weeks or 2 straight weeks. This is what happens. You just start saying random stuff. Like, I don't know if ho 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 go with Happy New Year. I don't think so. You would think ho 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 would go with Merry Christmas, right? It makes the most sense. Whatever. Either way, hey, welcome to a Cincy fan talking with LP, and this is yours truly, LP. Hope your Christmas was merry and happy. Hope Kwanzaa is treating you nice. Hope Hanukkah is the best. Whatever you out there doing, hope you doing it to the absolute fullest. You did, because hey, 'tis the season and all that, you know. No snowball fights in the hood this year. Like, none of that, because it's it's feeling good, but from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing out there, it's about to get super frigid when we hit the new year. We talking polar vortex, those negative 10 degrees. Like, that's what it's looking like. But hey, we'll see what happens. Hey, I got some stuff to talk about, man. Sports stuff and otherwise, man. Hit me up on the socials. Hit me up on the Twitter. Never X. Hit me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. Leave the G off. A Cincy fan talking. Hit me up there. Email your boy Cincy _ fan talk at yahoo.com. Yeah, it's Yahoo, man. Yeah, like, I got too many Gmails. Like, I had to pick something that I know I can check, and I know what it's for. You heard? So that's why it's Yahoo. I'll take your shame. Whatever. Hey, man, the Bengals and the Buckeyes got me feeling hopeful out here. Like, they really got me feeling like they about to shrug off demons. We gonna get into Buckeye talk first, and like I said, like I've been telling y'all, we gonna keep the Buckeye and the Bengals talk not really limited, but we gonna kind of keep it short and sweet. You know, I'm hearing a lot of people talking like none of this stuff matters with the Buckeyes. Like, it don't matter if they win the national championship because they lost to Michigan and all that. And I've been thinking about this. Now, let me preface. I haven't been thinking if that's true or not. That's absolutely positively false. Now, you don't have to think that that's false and then go like, "Oh, you don't care about beating Michigan." Look, listen to my voice. I want Ohio State to beat Michigan to a bloody pulp every single year. I live for it. The first 8 years of my 12-year-old's life were glorious because she didn't know what it was like to see daddy upset because we lost to Michigan, because it never happened. So my kid is 12. Like, my 12-year-old is 12. That makes sense, right? They're 8-4 since she was born. Like, that's where we at. So, I mean, it's still a winning record. Now, the younger the kids get, the worse the record get. Like, which is messed up. But I say all that to say this. We really only have one rival that we hate like that. We have some teams that, we don't like, but there's, like, a mutual respect and, all of that. We don't like Penn State, but we don't feel as bad if we lose to them. We feel bad if we lose to Michigan, like we do. We build up to play that game. Having said that, the fact that we only have one rival that we hate that much, it makes it so that if you beat them, you're on the highest of highs, and if you lose, you're on the lowest of lows. And it's the fact that we play them at the end of the year. And since we play them at the end of the year, it make it seem like all is lost. Somebody asked me at the beginning of the year, would you rather have Ohio State win a national championship and lose to Michigan, or beat Michigan to lose the national championship. And I was honest. I was like, look, I'd rather win a natty. Let's be real. As much as you want to see your team beat the rival, you in it to win a trophy. That's what you in it for. And that's not putting the Michigan rivalry on the back burner. It's not that. I don't want people to go like, I don't want people to take away from this. Dang, LP up here, he don't really care about beating Michigan. No, fam. No. But my heart hurts when we lose to Michigan. However, there are more games after Michigan now. And I think Ohio State fans have to recondition their way of thinking because it's going to be like this every year. That Michigan game is not the end-all, be-all anymore. It used to be the Michigan game, and then it's the Rose Bowl, and that's it. And then it was the Michigan game, and then the Big Ten title game, and then maybe one or two games after that. But now it's like you play Michigan, you might have 4 or 5 more games afterwards. It could be like that nowadays. And I think Ohio State fans have to condition themselves to this new way of thinking. Everything is not over after the Michigan game. And I'm seeing Michigan fans going like, oh, y'all don't care no more because y'all lost. Or you trying to act like you don't care. No, it's not that. You have to be professional enough to go like, look, we won this game. We got to go win the next one. Or you have to be like, dang, we lost this game. We took it on the chin. We got to go take it out on everybody we play from here on in. That's what I like the most about what they did to Tennessee. They were like, you know what? We took this L and we are heated about it. I feel bad for who we play next. I said that would happen. Kudos to LP. And that's the motivation they had to take into this game against Oregon. I'm not about to sit here and do the X's and O's thing. Go, I got to do this, that, and the third. Hit me on Twitter. You'll see it there. For me, it comes down to one person. Not even one person. One person. It comes down to Ryan Day. He has to have them playing as loose as they did against Tennessee. You don't have to play a perfect game. You might throw an interception. You might have a fumble. You might have a drive where nothing goes right. Let these boys go out there and have fun and just let it all hang out, man. That way, when you make a mistake, it's like, okay, I messed up. Let's get it back. It's a 60-minute game, y'all. There's going to be ups, downs, highs, lows. If the Buckeyes come out and play like they did against Tennessee, it's over for Oregon. And I think it'll be a mismatch of the two. I think they're going to come out tight in the first half. And then I think in the second half, they're going to come out and go like, you know what? Let's go balls to the wall. And I think they pull away in the second half and they win 35-27. That's what I'm going for. Now, if you're listening to me to bet on this game, what are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking? I don't even listen to me. Like, I go to my boy Kurt. I go to my boys Kurt and Steve with the $5 bets. I listen to them. I don't listen to me. So go there. You feel me? Like, this is just what I think. So that's where I'm at with that. Go Bucks. Follow me on Twitter, and you'll see me absolutely freaking out with every play for the Buckeyes and the Bengals. Man, did y'all see that? Man, I hated the Bengals for about 90 minutes, and then I loved the Bengals for like another 90 minutes. It was like that. It was one of those where it was like, what are y'all thinking? Oh, this is great. What are you, stupid? Woo, Bengals. Like, it was one of those games where it really felt like I was at Kings Island. Hey, shout out to Kings Island, man. We there all the time. Like, the kids love it. Season pass holders for life out this piece. It felt like we was on the Kings Island ride and you at the top of it and then it drop all the way down and you think it's over and then it just shoot back up again. Imagine that happening about 5 times on a ride. That was the Bengals-Broncos game. Now, there were some plays where a lot of people were like, what are you thinking? When Zach Taylor decided to let Burrow score so fast at the end of that game, which gave the Broncos more time to score, I wasn't upset with that. I would have went for the touchdown as well. Have you seen this defense this year? You really want to rely on kicking a field goal and getting 3 points and then giving these guys time to score a touchdown? No, let's not do that. However, why not just kneel the first time, make them use that last time out, and then score? That was the only beef I had. I'm like, that's what I would have did. Make them use that last TO. But you know what? It all worked out. Three things. One, pay T. Higgins. Pay T. Higgins. Pay T. Higgins. Stop playing. Pay T. Higgins. Hey, listen. Pay T. Higgins. I've been thinking about this. And when you have like franchises that have a long run with like back to back AFC playoff, AFC championship games, titles, and all that. Back in the day, they had two premier wide receivers. You look at the Cowboys, it was Alvin Harper and Michael Irvin. It was Jerry Rice and John Taylor. Like, it was like that. Now it's kind of veered off to something different nowadays. But if you want to make a long run, you gotta pay your players at some point. You can't keep developing talent and then selling off the talent and then hoping you will hit it right again. At some point, you gotta pay these people. Like, you have to. If not, what are you building the talent pool for? That's what I say. So one, pay T. Higgins. Two, keep Burrow happy. Keep him upright and happy. Do what you got to do to get a line. Now, it's hard to pay T. Higgins and get a solid line, so something got to shake. But they got to make that happen. Keep Burrow upright and happy. And number three, the main thing is a defense has to happen at some point. At some point, you got to figure out a way to either A, keep defenders on the team that have the talent to get it done, or B, start young and actually keep them in-house. Like, I just feel like you have to pay people if you're building talent. I just feel like sometimes they're building talent up and then just giving it away to other teams, and usually they're not getting anything for it. Like, they gave away Jesse Bates and didn't really get anything for him. They let DJ Reader go, really didn't get anything for him. And I know DJ Reader might have been a little bit older, really couldn't get anything for him, but come on, man. You see what's happening with the defense now. You have to make things happen. Overall, if you would have told me the Bengals would have a meaningful game week 18 last month after them being 4-8, I'd have laughed in your face. Like, for real. This shows you how good Burrow is. This shows you how good Chase is. This shows you how good Higgins is. With the middle of the road defense, we'd be looking at an 11-5 team right now. Like, that's with a middle of the road defense. So all we can do is throw the football, prayers up to the football people up there, and see if the Bengals can beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh, and then have Miami lose to the Jets, and then have Kansas City, with none of their starters playing, beat Denver. All of it seems pretty far-fetched. But again, let me stress, did you think this would even be a thing a month ago? Exactly. So you never know. And if they make the playoffs, hey, the key is making it. How can you win a Super Bowl if you don't make it, right? So we'll see what happens. Game is on Saturday. So New Year's Day, I'll be freaking out, spazzing out in front of the TV. And then on Saturday, I'll be spazzing out in front of the TV. And then after that, I can go ahead and just terminate my red zone package, because who needs it? Like, who's keeping it out here? That's ridiculous. Save my little $10. Real fast about the college football playoff, and it's just one thing I don't understand. How come everybody that wins a conference championship doesn't get in? And it's just one of those things I've just kind of been thinking about. Like, when you look at March Madness, There are like 34 conferences. And let's keep it a buck and a quarter, y'all. Out of those 34 conferences, we're talking like the Atlantic Sun, the Ohio Valley, like small conferences where, they ball, but they just meet a team in a tournament with more ballers. That's kind of how it goes. We don't expect those teams to win a title, but they get in, right? They're allowed the illusion of competing for a title. How come they don't do that in college? Like you have Conference USA and you have like the MAC and stuff like that, and they know from the beginning that they're not gonna get a chance to play for that title. And people can hype it up and go like, yeah, well, a group of 5 team does get in, but it's just one. And at the beginning of the year, depending on who's put where in the polls, there's only 2 or 3 teams that are going to have a shot in a group of 5. And that's just being real. Now, look at the FCS. That would be like Division 2 back in the day, or Division 1 AA, or something where they send like a team up to Ohio State every year and get beat by like 90 or something like that. Those teams that the SEC will play in the middle of the year, you go like, who? Mercer. Where? And they'll get ran out of the stadium. They have 24 teams that make their tournament. 24. The top 8 seeds get buys into the next round. And then they'll have like 16 teams play each other. And then those teams play up. Like, it's like a tournament. Like, and it's full inclusion in the tournament. I don't get how greedy these guys are running these bowls. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I won't say it bothers me, but it's just one of those things where it's like, why isn't everybody included? And the easy answer is they don't have a chance to win anyway. But as a public, we like that. When March Madness comes around, we are watching the first and second rounds to see a team with a big number next to their name beat a team with a little number next to their name. We want to see that. Like, that's part of the allure of March Madness. To watch an 11 seed make the Final Four, or to watch a 16 seed beat a 1 seed. We like that. We don't want them to keep going. Like, we don't want a Final Four with 3 14 seeds and a 5 seed. We really don't. If somebody tells you they do, they lying. We want teams that we know in the Final Four. We want teams that we don't know to make it to the Sweet 16. And I feel like college football is they're missing the boat on that, because it's really hard for a bad team to beat a good team repeatedly. So you're not going to see the weaker teams make it to the Final Four of the college football playoff. It's not going to happen. But there's enough solid players nationwide to watch an upset or two. You're not going to get upsets in this tournament. Did you see what happened in the first round? All of the home teams won by a lot. That's what's going to happen when you're looking at this stuff. That's what's going to happen. I don't know. I just feel like the NCAA is missing the boat. That's what I feel like. And I'm sure they're like, man, what about the bowls, though? We'll watch them. All we doing is sitting at home, eating leftovers, eating takeout, and watching teams that we have no clue about playing in bowl games we have no clue about. Man, I love the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I love it. I will watch it every single year just to watch the craziness. I forgot who was playing. Don't care. Still don't care. Iowa State beat Miami, I think. Whatever. I don't care who was playing. I'm there for the Pop-Tarts. Frosted, not unfrosted. If you're eating unfrosted Pop-Tarts, you're a terrorist. I mean, it's just facts. Like, I hate to alienate, some of my listeners out there, but like, hey, for unfrosted Pop-Tart listener, you're awesome. I just don't agree with your Pop-Tart choices, okay? You know what? I should just keep it moving. I feel like I'm making people upset. No, I'm just saying, man, who eating unfrosted Pop Tarts out here? That's just wild. I don't know. Why don't why don't people appreciate and like women's sports and women's athletes? I don't get it. Like I got a tweet about some podcast that was just absolutely talking reckless about Angel Reese. And it's probably like the fourth or fifth time I've seen or heard somebody just talking reckless about Angel Reese. Like they know her. Like I don't know. I don't know Angel Reese. All I know is what I see. And it looked like she's a young woman that cares about playing basketball. Can she work more on her jump shot? Most definitely. I'm sure in any walk of life, people have holes in their game or holes about their personality that they figure that they can fix. I know I do. I'm stubborn as hell. Like I am. Like it's to the point where I'll say stuff and do stuff and I go like, dang, shouldn't I have a little bit of flex? That's my blind spot. That's one of my major blind spots. I'm working on it. It drives my wife crazy, but I'm working on it. Angel Reese can't shoot. She is a tenacious rebounder and an awesome defender. She needs to work on her jump shot. Does that mean we get to talk about how she dressed? That's wild. I mean, I've seen so much filth about her. It's crazy. And not just her, but a lot of female athletes that go out here and like hoop or do whatever they do. And it just really make me think, do we really care about women's sports the way we say we do? Do we really? We'll try to compare women hoopers to men hoopers, and like, man, that woman hooper, she couldn't beat somebody in the G League. She couldn't beat somebody in high school. Does it really matter? Like, she couldn't beat a male player in high school, but they play other women. Like, I just don't get the comparisons. Like, in basketball, I sort of kind of get it because the game is so similar. However, you're dealing with completely different skill sets, and the part that bothers me the most about this whole thing is that it'll get so personal with the ladies so fast. Like people quick to body shame and they quick to just go hard on how they dress and all of that. Like what they got to do with her hooping? Like everything you just said had nothing to do with her hooping whatsoever. And I don't know. I just remember being a senior in high school about to go to college. And I remember seeing the very first WNBA game. Yeah, I dated myself. I do that a lot. What can I say? I remember seeing the very first WNBA game. It was the Sparks and it was the Liberty. And I remember thinking like, dang, they actually finally doing it. And this was them coming off of like the Olympics in Atlanta where they just ran through everybody. And they did like a whole barnstorming tour like around the world, just popping everybody the women's team did. And then Don Staley, Rebecca Lobo, Teresa Edwards, Cheryl Swoops, they was on Martin. And like they was really blowing the game up, like I remember Don Staley was funny as hell too on Martin. I do remember that. And I just thought that the appreciation standpoint for women's sports, basketball in particular, would just start climbing up and keep going up. I remember thinking this as an 18-year-old. And where we at now, I don't see it. Like, I see people packing the arenas and I see all that. But that appreciation standpoint, I just wish we could get there. And I don't think we're there yet. I really think we need to work on just appreciating that women are out here doing sports that men are doing. It doesn't mean we have to compare them and say that men's sports are better than women's sports. I truly feel like what you see is what you get, and it's what you're looking for. Like, if you're looking to be entertained by women's sports, you will be entertained by women's sports. If you're looking at it to be a hater and you're looking like, well, they can't dunk, man, they miss layups, this, that, and the third, that's what you're going to get out of it. Like, in this world, we basically get what we tolerate. That's what we get. And if you're tolerating being unhappy about what you're looking at, That's what you're gonna get. So just appreciate what you're viewing. And I feel like in the next 5 years, women's sports could be close to the same tier as men's sports. It doesn't mean you have to think that a woman could beat a man in a certain sport. It don't really mean that. It just means that they should be appreciated for what they do. Now, if we talking about what they should get paid and all of that, I'm not about to get into that because that's a whole another thing. There's a lot of different engines moving with that. They should have a longer season. Me personally, I think that the WNBA should separate themselves from the NBA. That's what I think. I think they can do a lot better if they make themselves just a different sports engine so that they're not relying on the NBA. They don't really have to hear all this nonsense. But that's something for another day. While I'm talking about the NBA, hey, listen to me. Leave the NBA All-Star game alone. Stop messing with it. Leave it alone. Why does it have to be competitive? I'm making air quotes with my hands. I guess at some point I should go ahead and just throw this up on YouTube. I should. I keep saying I'm gonna do it. Just give me time. But why does it have to be competitive? Why does it have to mean something? Why? It's an exhibition match, man. Like, we're doing too much. And I love to hear some of the young bucks out there start going like, yeah, back in the day it meant something. They put it all on the line. Let me tell you, as a basketball head and as one of those old heads who was a young head and recorded all of the All-Star games because I was a nerd like that, like we really used to do that, and recorded all the All-Star game competitions on Saturday night. We used to do that. Record it and then watch it over and over again. Let me tell you something. They didn't care. Man, Magic and them would be out there throwing behind the back passes and trying to do the dumbest, most ignorant stuff in quarters 1 through 3. They really would. We had these same conversations back then. We really did. Man, the game be getting boring to the fourth quarter. They just don't care. That's what it was. Hey, real hoopers, if you hoop like outside or if you hoop at a LA Fitness or blah, 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 if you really do that, then you know for a fact, game going to 16, nobody's really hooping hard until somebody gets to 10. And then let them get 13 in a game going to 16. That's when you see defense. That's when you see people going hard. But for the first 3/4 of the game, nobody. People care. You know, you're not trying to get shown. You're not trying to get shown out on, especially if girls watching. Like you're not trying to get let half it out there, but you're not going full speed either. That's the All-Star game. The first 3/4, man, people literally moving out of the way to let people get their dunks off. They really are. Nobody's making even if you made the team because of your defense, they're telling you, like, you're going a little too hard, young boy, chill out. That's the All-Star game. But now we messing it up and we trying to, like, make it so that it's more competitive. No, stop. It's not supposed to be competitive. Hey, you a fan? You got a favorite team? Close your eyes. Think about this. You want to see a competitive game and you want to see your favorite player that's on your favorite team win the MVP. Whoever that may be. Just put somebody in your head. I'll give you a second. You got him? Cool. So let's say you got this person and they hooping and they got like 35 points and it's the third quarter. They shooting for MVP. You hear them chanting MVP every time you get the route. And then you got somebody else on the other team and they like, oh, hold on. And they start playing D on them. Your favorite homie hit him with the crossover. Boom, boom, boom. Injure his ankle. He out 4 weeks because of the All-Star game. How do you feel about the All-Star game now? You still want it to be competitive? You probably don't even want them to play, right? That's my thing. This is simply an exhibition match. We want to see our favorite players play. We want them to score. We want to see dunks. We want to see 3-pointers. We don't really want to see a lot of defense. If it's competitive in the fourth quarter, that's awesome. That's cool. But if it's not, who cares? And that's my whole point. Now, I've been caping for this for the longest. What we really need to do is we need to make the slam dunk contest during the game. One of the homies, one of the followers, mutual followers, he was like, we need to make the slam dunk contest for the entire game. That's next level. I was thinking you just take one quarter and make that quarter the All-Star game slam dunk contest. He's like, nah, make it the whole game and have 2 slam dunk contests. have the regular one and then have the one in the game. I'm like, that's absolutely perfect. That's the best of both worlds right there. Something like that, you're shaking it up, but you're not shaking up what the game is about. How you supposed to get records in an all-star game where you broke up the competition into 4 teams and they only go on to 40? How you supposed to go for like the record for most points scored? I mean, you really can't. I mean, you combine the scores from both games, you get 80, so you score all the points. Nah, man, I just feel like we doing too much. I think personally that we got people that don't really care too much about basketball tuning in for one time a year, and they see it and they go like, oh, this ain't basketball. But if you follow basketball, then you know you did not tune in to see a basketball game. You tuned in for the spectacle. You tuned in for all the other outside stuff. And oh, yeah, they're hooping too. That's the All-Star game. I guess plus the people waiting outside the hotel room trying to get phone numbers and get shows and stuff. But hey, I don't know stuff about that because I don't hoop. Not in that capacity. So that's what that is. Hey, before we head out, for my New Year's resolution, folks out there, that's not really my thing. I never been like the one to be like, okay, I got a New Year's resolution. I'm gonna do this. I used to do that stuff back in the day. For me, I'm just setting goals, and my main goal is I'm just trying to have peace. I'm just trying to manifest peace. Being a teacher, it can sometimes be a little difficult to get that peace because you have so much to do. And to be honest, sometimes you have kids in your class they're in it to be irritating. They want to make the teacher upset. That's their goal. Now, if you think I'm joking, I'm not. I used to be that kid. I used to kind of like try to make the teacher upset to see if they would yell. I used to really be on that. I hate to say it, but I was that guy. So as a teacher, I can tell when kids are on that, and I'd be like, you trying to make me mad, huh? You want me to yell at you? Is that what you want? Then they kind of get freaked out like, dude, Mr. P, huh? That's what you want, right? You want me to yell at you? Sorry, I'm not going to do it. Who wants to raise their blood pressure when I can just, I don't know, tell you to get out? Much easier for your boy than just spazzing out and making the whole class laugh at me. But in order to like get that inner peace, sometimes you gotta like sacrifice internal stress. You feel what I'm saying? To show that outward peace, you gotta sacrifice that inner stress. And that's what I'm working on. I want to eliminate the inner stress. To say this has been a hard year and a half would be an understatement. You feel me? Like it really would be. And at some point nothing's really going to change, and you're going to have like a hole in your heart for the rest of your life, you know that. So you want to try to manifest as much peace as you can for yourself and the people around you. So that's really my goal. I'm trying to eliminate anything that stresses me out. And when I say eliminate, I mean not just ignore it, but to just remove it from my sight line. So even if it is annoying or even if it is bringing me like stress, I want to move it to the side so that it doesn't stress me out. So that's really my goal. And that's something I've started for a while now. I think I'm getting better at it, but I just don't want it to be something where I ignore it and then it's still there and then I can reach out and touch that stress and then just bring it back to me, if that makes sense. I want it so that it is out of the picture. This means you're keeping people around you that don't cause you that stress. So it's really about picking and choosing who you want to align yourself with. And I like to tell my kids this, and I like to tell myself this in my head all of the time, but you don't get to choose family. You don't get to choose parents. Sometimes you don't even really get to choose, well, you really don't get to choose coworkers or anything like that. You can kind of choose your job, but the coworkers come with it. You get to choose friends. That's one of the few things you have control over. So we're lining up friends that bring us joy. They keep us on our grind. They keep us on our stuff, but they bring us joy. And nobody brings you joy 24/7. Even people that bring you joy all of the time, there's hiccups there too. It's how it goes. But you're not casting people out because it makes you upset once. If they generally bring you joy and happiness, that's who you want on the squad. And I guess if I had a resolution, that would be the resolution. To only surround myself with people and things and tweets and emails that make me happy. Or at least make me think. Now, if you have a different opinion from me, that doesn't mean that you don't bring me joy and happiness, because different opinions are necessary in life. Who wants to be around people that thinks like them 24/7? However, if your thoughts generally bring me down or they're, I don't know, hate filled or losery or something like that, who wants to be around that? So that's what I'm manifesting. Uh, so when I catch you in 2025, if we got that same energy, we rocking together. And the squad that I'm usually linked up with, the people that's emailing me back and forth, the people that's hitting me up on Twitter, I'm talking about y'all because I ride with y'all. Appreciate y'all for this entire year, for helping me get back into the podcasting field because I was out for a little bit, for helping me get back in, jumping back in 10 toes and just keeping me with it, keeping me laughing and everything. I appreciate y'all. Stay locked in, stay tuned, because I definitely plan on keeping it going because it's a happy place for your boy. So on that note, producer extraordinaire, you can go ahead and cue the music because we are out. And as always, y'all, catch your boy next week. And life is good. Peace out.